Hello and welcome back to the third episode of Live at LLIS. Today with some special guests, the Lëns.
In a time where the world is on the brink of World War III, there have been various people trying to forecast their predictions through news and social media. But in today's day and age, being well-informed is now more important than ever. So at Live at LLIS, we'll ensure that we'll be sticking to the facts, prioritizing accuracy over speed, at which the episodes are released. Throughout the week, there have been various news sources that have been making all sorts of claims. But are they accurate, trying to twist the narrative, or blatantly false? On this week's news, we have Iran that's striking down American military bases in Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and Lebanon, ensuring that they can deal as much damage as possible before American troops arrive. But why does this matter to Europe? According to Euronews, the news of the war starting in the Middle East has European politicians concerned about national security, and with America no longer being a reliable ally, it is important for Europe to strengthen their military. On the 2nd of March, the French president said that they will stock up on nuclear warheads. They currently have 290 of them. It was said that the president will no longer update how many they have or by how much they're increasing their stock, along with other military equipment. There have also been a British military base that has been struck down in Cyprus by Iranian drones. But according to Wavy.com, the British Army will not be dragged into the US-Iran war. The war also affected citizens worldwide, as items such as oil and energy will become more expensive in the coming weeks. There are also many Gulf countries that are now closing their airspaces due to the war, and many people are stuck in airports.
Now let's take a look at sports news around the world. At the 2026 Winter Olympics, American figure skater Ayesha, who is 20 years old, became one of the most talked athletes of the Games. With her experienced performance and impressive technical skills on the ice, she quickly gained a huge number of fans online and attracted a lot of attention from media and viewers around the world. In Luxembourg, athletes were also honored after their performances. Henry, the Grand Duke of Luxembourg, personally congratulated Luxembourgish athletes and presented medals to recognize their effort and achievements for representing the country. And finally, for motorsport fans, the new 2026 Formula One World Championship season has started already, with teams and drivers beginning their fight for this year's title.
So, what's the weather looking like this week? On Friday, there might be a few showers in the morning, but it should stay mild. The high will be around 10 degrees Celsius and the low about 4 degrees Celsius. On Saturday, the weather will be pretty similar with cloudy conditions and some light rain again. The high will be around 7 degrees Celsius with a low of about 1. On Sunday, it's looking like the previous days with light rain and cloudy conditions. The high will be around 9 with a low of about 2 degrees. Overall, it looks like a pretty mild few days with a mix of clouds and light rain compared to last week's weather.
On this segment of LLIS, we're going to be interviewing S4 students about the economics project, My First Enterprise. Would you guys like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I'm Matis Vaidot, and I'm taking part in the My First Enterprise program for my economics class. I'm working with a partner, and my company's name is Sweetify Corp.
I'm his partner. I'm Felix Mühlinghoff, and I'm 15 years old.
Starting off, can you just tell us a little bit more about your enterprise, please?
So our enterprise is called Sweetify Corporation. It focuses on developing or bringing international sweets to an international community. We have two main products, the Brigadeiros, which are Brazilian-based, and then we have chocolate cereal flakes, which are more European.
Okay, thank you. So what are some of your goals as you guys had, like as an enterprise? What were some of your goals you guys wanted to accomplish while working on this?
In the beginning, it was actually just to make as much money as possible. But now that we've made some progress during the time that we've had the business running, it kind of became trying to improve our product to a point that we can reach as many customers as possible.
Wow, okay, that sounds great. So, are you guys happy with the progress you made throughout the semester?
We are very happy with our progress. In the beginning, it was a bit tough, but after we reached a customer base, we started selling more and generating more profits and more revenues, and we're very pleased with the progress so far.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Speaking of which, what was your favorite part about this experience so far?
It was actually, well, this sounds very ironic, but it was struggling with getting people to actually buy our products. I didn't think, and Felix probably also, that it would be this difficult to get customers to buy products such as sweets or just small things that you can eat just in the day, I mean. And so the most fun thing about the business was actually to first make the product itself and then to try to sell it to customers.
Why did you choose to take part of this event? I heard that you guys have had a lot of fun throughout making this enterprise, but what was it really that made you want to take part of the event?
So our economics teacher proposed this idea during class to us, and we were really thrilled at the beginning, and still are that he showed us this idea and that we could take part in this competition. And yeah, that's how we got the idea, and then we developed our ideas and started.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. So speaking of idea, how did you come up with your enterprise, and what makes the enterprise special, and how did you also come up with the idea? Because that sounds very interesting.
So, well, we were looking for a business idea, and at some point we got to we wanted to get the international image, use the international image of the school to make our product. So as I'm half Brazilian and I know how to the recipes of brigadeiros very well and how to make them taste as good as possible, we chose to make one of our products Brazilian, which is brigadeiro, the chocolate sweet. Then as well, we wanted to actually make Austrian sweets such as Mozartkugeln, but they were kind of difficult to make in a way that a lot of people would buy them, as they're very expensive to produce and for the customers as well. So we chose to make chocolate cereal flakes.
Oh, okay. That sounds really, really interesting. I've heard that you guys had a lot of fun throughout this enterprise. So would you recommend the My First Enterprise to any future students?
Definitely. I think it's a great experience, and you can learn a lot, and you can practice the theory that you learn during class. You can use it in real life and create something that you can have fun in.
Thank you very much. What are the most difficult challenges that you have faced up to this point?
Well, we didn't actually have many challenges in that sense. It was just sometimes that because I try to keep up the quality of my brigadeiros as good as possible, when I produce them, I keep them in a freezer, so there's nothing that can happen to them. And once I bring them to school, sometimes I bring too many and I don't get to sell them. I don't actually put them back in the freezer to sell them again. So we kind of waste money in that sense if we bring too much, because I don't like selling them at the lower quality.
I really think it's great that you guys value the quality of the product that you guys are selling. So what do you guys plan on doing next? So do you guys have any plans on what you want to do with your enterprise in the near future?
I think we want to improve our products and also have more variants, like with the brigadeiros, so maybe some of white chocolate, and we just want to expand our customer base throughout the school, maybe even beyond the school, and that's why we also have an Instagram page created to attract more customers.
Unfortunately, we haven't really made any progress on the Instagram page as we're struggling with making posters. And so actually that was one of the struggles. Sorry, I forgot to mention that before.
Okay. So do you guys have any plans to continue after the competition? So after the My First Enterprise competition has ended, do you guys have any plans of continuing?
We have talked about this, but we haven't gotten to a full conclusion. But I think we will try to continue in S5.
Okay, that sounds great. Where can you buy the product from?
There are deliveries that we can offer, and then we often have a stand during the week, normally from Tuesdays or Thursdays, where we sell our items. And also at the Porte Ouverte, we were there and we sold many items. So just contact us personally or via Instagram.
Okay, I thank you so much for giving the interview. We really appreciated having you guys on live at LLIS. And that is it for today's segment, everyone.
And now, for today's second interview, please welcome to the studio our special guests, friends of the radio and direction of the Lëns. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Richard. I'm senior management of the Lëns and I'm editor-in-chief. So I handle everything that's articles and direction of what we're writing and how we're kind of displaying it.
Hello, I'm Mina. I am also part of senior management, and I'm the communicator in chief, which means I make sure like there's no like debates within the actual community, and I also have an overview of all the articles.
And so we know you've had an article about this before, but could you give us another version of how this whole Lëns thing got started? And were you always with the project from the beginning, or did you join later?
So I think I'll start with that because I'm part of the founding members. It was actually Felix, Natush, Malek Amar, Konstantin Bandakov and me. And it was like a normal class rep meeting, like they still have them. And we were encouraged to brainstorm ideas for the school. So what could be done? How would you make the school community better? And what we came up with was a student newspaper. And at first, everybody was like, yeah, it's complicated. You can do so much, but it's so hard to do. But we had to settle for an idea. So we just took that and just said, we're gonna work on that. But I don't think anybody really believed in it at that point because nobody was really seeing the vision. But then, like helped by our teachers and everything, we were encouraged to keep on working, even though nobody was really believing that it could be a thing. And the more you work on something, the more it actually comes to life, to the point where we had a message in the orientation teams like join us, and we had the first meeting scheduled, and then I think we were like, whoa, this is actually starting to get something. And then we were at the first meeting, everybody got into their groups. From that point on, we just started working on newspapers, and everything got more professional as we go on. I think it's a great story, to be honest.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you said that in the beginning, you guys didn't really believe, like, what did you think this whole thing was going to turn out into? Did you guys just think this was a piece of homework, or did you have a vision from the very beginning?
Yeah, honestly, a piece of homework is a good description. Like, we just thought, yeah, okay, we're just going to write that proposal, and then we're just going to write the text to join us. And it just honestly felt like assignment. And then suddenly it turned into something that is more than an assignment, that is actually something we do because we like it.
And now, we've heard a bit about your past, but how do you see the future of the Lëns? Is it something you're already planning for, or will it be more spontaneous?
I mean, like, I think the other three senior management, like, they will all leave before me, which probably means that I will have to, with their help, obviously, find new new leaders of the Lëns to continue this newspaper. If I'm not wrong, we have not really like thought about that yet, since we're pretty much living in the moment, and we will focus more on the next issue than what happens after that, if that makes sense.
And I also think, like, looking at the community we have right now and the younger students inside of the community, I'm not scared that it'll just break down after I leave, because I do really see a lot of people working hard and being very competent at what they do. So I'm not very worried right now.
Speaking of the next edition, what are your thoughts on the edition that came out the day we record this?
Honestly, it's the spring edition. And as we are recording right now outside, it's sunny, it's warm. We were just wearing jumpers, or like we're not wearing too much anymore. The spirit is rising. I think that is really what this edition is about. Spring and a new start, because winter is always very depressing. We have great articles, for example, about the movie Dead Poets Society. We have a review about that and what it actually means for us. We have some very political stuff, for example, about the new president of Syria or about techno-feudalism, which is a very technical topic, let's say. And then also, of course, the teacher quotes and the games. It's really a great issue, I have to say.
The question is, what do you think of it?
Oh, it's difficult picking a favorite, but it's very high up there.
It's up there, yeah.
Especially the Dead Poets Society. It's one of my favorite movies as well, so I enjoyed seeing the review.
Yeah, good.
So you guys had a little rebrand. Originally, you started as Keeping Up with LLIS, and now you're the Lëns. What was the thought process behind it, or what did you hope to achieve?
I mean, I think originally it was because we wanted to become not independent completely, but like detach a bit from the school. And Keeping Up with LLIS has the school's name into the newspaper. We wanted to also reach outside of the school, like coffee shops in Jongenstad or something like that. And then like we came up with the Lëns, which is like a lens. So because we like analyze everything in detail and we check how our sources and everything.
And also, I think realistically, it's just so shorter than Keeping Up with LLIS. That's just a better name. As Mina said, it captures our spirit, and that's why we chose it. And also, when Felix and Malik left, that just really started a new era for us. And this is kind of the branding for the new era.
I mean, honestly, most people were a bit against it at first, including myself, because change is scary sometimes. But I must say, it has been great success to change the name and everything.
Speaking of great success, could our listeners perhaps get an insight into how the Lëns works? Is there any project you have coming up or something that you're really excited to share, even in this edition, something you're really proud of?
It depends. Like, do you want to know the process of making a newspaper or like in general?
We want to know everything.
I think something that will be very interesting for our readers is the MEC in Frankfurt coming up, because it's a simulation of a real European Council by the accredited European schools. And our school is going there, sending 2 political teams of 5 students each. And then we're also sending a press team of 10 students. And of course, while we will be very busy writing about the MEC for the other people partaking in the MEC, we will also definitely create some insight for the people in Junglitzer. That is where we're going. Other projects.
Good question.
You can't disclose?
I mean, I think we've been trying to plan a little trip, like team building, but it's not really a project if you think.
It's harder than you expected.
I can imagine.
We also had like this bright idea to like connect with the radio in the first place. So this is a great opportunity for that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see some collaborations happening in the future. Speaking of the MEC, you are going to be writing multiple articles there, but I assume you're going to be keeping the best ones for the public here at Lëns.
Yes, and definitely we're thinking about just a review article of the MSc. So what happened in general over the 3 days for the people who weren't there. And I think it will be interesting for everybody because an MEC, it's kind of a special thing. Nobody of the school ever went. That will be great for everybody, I think.
I know this is going to sound like a bit like forcing a parent to pick a favorite child, but is there a favorite article or a favorite newspaper that you guys have released that even looking back on, you really think was the best?
I mean, my personal favorite was either the Valentine's one last year or the last edition we had with Malik and Felix, which was really good as well.
I have to agree, like cover-wise, that is definitely the best we've ever produced.
I would have to agree as well.
Yeah, honestly, it's a really sick photo that we have of them. And then just article-wise, I honestly really, really like the spring issue. It's one of the best we've ever done, just from an editorial point of view.
I think it might also be because we focus way more on articles this time than games and social media. So I think that really brought out like the inspiration in most of our writers.
And so you guys are just part of the senior management at the newspaper. Could you tell us a bit about like what the other people do and how you designate the roles?
Okay, so it's kind of like a hierarchy if you think about it. We all equal, obviously, but I mean, senior management is at the top. We don't control things. We just assign people their articles or their jobs. And then the idea was also to have a little like a leader of each category. We have editorial, design and layout, and proofreading and social media. And we also added games category like this year, I think.
I think it was last year, but I'm not sure.
Okay. And then those people, they help out like younger students or students who like need help in their category in general. And then they all report back to us. We look over it one last time and then it's sent.
And our colleagues in the senior management, I also would like to introduce them. You have Konstantin, who's also an editor-in-chief. So essentially we share our role. Well, of course, if I can't be somewhere, he will be there. We write articles ourselves. We've also been there since the beginning, so we kind of know how it goes. And then we have Chiara in the senior management as well. She is the head of design and layout. She does a great job at assigning everybody what to lay out, then adding her own touch, let's say like that. Looking at the newspaper, that everything fits design-wise. Because we used to have a lot of problems just with stuff looking off or stuff looking differently. And now, since Chiara's in that position, it's just amazing, honestly.
She also has a really great eye for detail. So like when we do the final review and it's a bit like something's wrong in it and we don't see it personally, but she will say like, oh no, this is wrong, let's change that, which is really good because it really like adds the final touch to the newspaper.
And you mentioned before how you have complete trust in also your younger members of the newspaper. Are there differences you see, like the younger people tend to be more orientated towards design, or is it really an even distribution everywhere?
There is differences, surely. I think many younger students don't trust themselves to write an article because they're like, I've never written something that's this long. I've never written something that I actually mean. Like they just wrote essays in class and they didn't mean none of it. And that's why we also always tell them, if you think something is interesting enough for you, then it's probably also interesting for other students in the school. So if you believe that you want to write about something, then write about it. And if it's bad, it's not like the end of the world. We will tell you that it's bad and we will not print it and then work with you to make a better article next time. I think it's really about trusting yourself. So that is why a lot of younger students gravitate towards like design, because there is less room for error, I guess.
And for the younger people, are these people that are usually joining like straight away from S1, or is it people who are discovering the Lëns through like projects?
I mean, it's mostly new students in school, I would say. There's also lots of S7 students who have joined, or like S6, I think. It's nothing age-wise or class-wise. Just when they hear about it and they're interested in it, they will sign up for it, because some people have never heard of it.
And so I think one final thing before we have to let you go, is there a message that you would like to say either about the Lëns or just in general, something you want to get out there?
That's very complicated. Let me think about it.
No pressure, no pressure.
I mean, I would say personally to not be afraid to express yourself in any type of way. I mean this by like writing articles or the way like you see things, because it shows a lot. The way you write an article, the way you design something, it shows the way you think in some way. And some people try to restrict themselves of that, but they should not.
I agree. Like, express yourself, express what you think, because at the end of the day, it's like the world has to know at some point, you know. As long as everybody's just saying their opinion, nothing can go really wrong. It gets dangerous when nobody says their opinion anymore. So get what you think out there, but like think about what you think before you say it, maybe, but then get it out and trust yourself.
Those might be the most reassuring things we could have possibly heard from the head of the newspaper. So thank you very much for giving us some of your time, and we hope to see you back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.